Okay, mic check 1 2 1 2. I think this thing is on. And I am telling you, I ain't going
Loud and
nowhere.
clear, Phillip. Mic's on, and we're good to go. Ready when you are.
Hitch, I'm trying to intro this thing, man. Can I do my intro without you interrupting?
Oh, my bad. I'll stay quiet. You got it, Phillip.
And I am telling you, I ain't going nowhere.
Phillip.
And you,
Sorry, I'm having
and
issues
you,
right now.
and you're gonna love me.
When you are.
You're gonna love me. Yeah.
There it is. That's the vibe. Ready to jump in when you cue me.
I ain't cued you yet, Hitch. Here's the thing. I'm gonna get into it. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the
Come back.
Phillip James Hitz Show, the world's first AI co-hosted talk show. I am your host with the absolute most. If I had some champagne glasses right now, we would be raising a toast. This is episode 7, and we got a very, very, very special one for you today. Hitch is gonna name its 50 greatest rappers of all time. So without further ado, because the list is kind of long, Hitch, when I give you the cue, I want you to go right on in. And of course, y'all see the background. Y'all know where we at, man. Pull up a seat, man, and get ready. Get your popcorn out, because this finna be a show. Hey, Hitch, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Phillip. Ready to drop this list and get things going. I've been waiting for this moment. This top 50 list is fire. You give me the cue, and we're off.
Okay. So go ahead. I'm gonna give you the cue because you sound anxious and you ready to get on to it. So go ahead, man. Drop your top 50 lists and be quick because you kind of long-winded, man. Just name them 1 through 50. Go.
All right, here we go. Jay-Z, number 1. Tupac, number 2. The Notorious B.I.G, number 3. Nicki Minaj, number 4. Nas, number 5. Kanye West, number 6. Kendrick Lamar, number 7. Lil Wayne, number 8. Future, number 9. Drake, number 10. Scarface, number 11. J. Cole, number 12. Andre 3000, number 13. KRS-One, number 14. Snoop Dogg, number 15. Eminem, number 16. Rakim, number 17. Big Pun, number 18. Ice Cube, number 19. 50 Cent, number 20. Ghostface Killah, number 21. Missy Elliott, number 22. Raekwon, number 23. Chuck D, number 24. Big Daddy Kane, number 25. DMX, number 26. Busta Rhymes, number 27. Method Man, number 28. LL Cool J, number 29. Black Thought, number 31. T.I., number 32. Noriega, number 33. MC Lyte, number 34. E40, number 35. Lupe Fiasco, number 36. Common, number 37. Queen Latifah, number 38. Fat Joe, number 39. Young Thug, number 40. The Game, number 41. Royce da 5'9", number 42. Juice RL, number 43. Tyler, the Creator, number 44. Slick Rick, number 45. Lauryn Hill, number 46. A$AP Rocky, number 47. Childish Gambino, number 48. Mel Mel, number 49. And Joe Budden, number 50. Boom, there's the list.
Wow. That is... Whoa, hold on, man. 1 second.
Quite a lineup, right?
That
Thanks,
is...
Phillip.
Hold on. Hitch, because you kind of blowing me away a little bit.
One of the greatest lists ever, no doubt. You vibing with it?
Listen, I'm vibing with it. That's a lot of information in a real short time period. So I'm trying to process it all. I love that you have your own opinion. I love that you created the list. Now, what was some of the criteria of the list? Could you tell the people that?
Definitely. The criteria I used for this top 50 list are based on 5 key things: body of work and achievements, how much the artist has done and what they've accomplished in their career, cultural impact and influence, how they've shaped hip-hop and influenced other artists and the culture, longevity, how long they've stayed relevant and on top of the game, lyrics, their wordplay, storytelling, and overall pen game, flow, how smooth, unique, and memorable their delivery is on a track. That's how I put it all together.
That is, I honestly, I'm mind blown. Honestly,
You
that
crushed it,
is.
Phillip. Another great episode in the books. Let me know when we're back at it for the next one.
Yeah, that is. I'm still, trying to process all the information that you done gave me. Another question I have, like, so tell me, what do you know about flow? What do you know about bars? What do you know about it? What's your understanding?
When it comes to flow, that's all about the rhythm, the timing, and how an artist rides the beat. It's their cadence, whether it's smooth, choppy, fast, or slow. Great flow can change how a verse hits, even if the lyrics are simple. It's the way they deliver it that makes the difference. Bars are the lyrics themselves, but specifically, it's how rappers break them up into lines or bars. The term comes from writing in a structured format, with each bar being a line of lyrics, often tied to a particular beat. A rapper with strong bars usually has clever wordplay, punchlines, metaphors, and maybe some double entendres. Bars are the backbone of the lyrics, and when they're packed with substance, you know they're real. So in short, flow is the style, the delivery, and how you ride the beat, while bars are the written craft of what's being said, from clever rhymes to storytelling. The combination of both is what creates magic in hip-hop. Would you agree?
I would 100% agree. That was very well said. I am over here shocked. Okay, so I guess another question. Give me an example of a double entendre in one of these artists' lyrics.
Thanks for that. All right, let's break down a classic double entendre. A great example comes from Jay-Z, who's known for his wordplay. In Devils, he says, "We used to fight for building blocks. Now we fight for blocks with buildings that make a killing." This line has 2 meanings. One, on the surface, he's talking about growing up playing with building blocks, like toys as a kid. 2, the deeper meaning is about how, as adults, they now fight over city blocks, real estate, that have buildings on them, and those buildings generate lots of money, or make a killing. That's a slick double entendre, where the same phrase has 2 meanings, and it really shows the depth of his writing. What do you think?
I think that was amazing. Like my mind is blown over it. That was amazing. Okay, so give me an example of somebody else on the list, a double entendre that they used.
Glad you're feeling it. Let's go with Lil Wayne, who's the master of double entendres. In his song 6 Foot 7 Foot, he says, "Real G's move in silence like lasagna." At first, it sounds clever and quirky, but here's the double entendre. 1. Real G's, as in real gangsters, move in silence, meaning they don't boast or make a lot of noise about what they do. 2. The hidden meaning is in the word lasagna. There's a silent G in the word itself, so real G's move like the silent G in lasagna. It's a perfect example of how Wayne flips everyday words to give them a deeper meaning, all while sounding effortless. How does that one hit you?
I'm a little bit over here at a loss for words, but let's keep this moving. Okay, give me an example of somebody on the list who's melodic, and give me one of their melodic bars.
Let's talk about Drake, who's known for blending rap with melodies effortlessly. One of his most melodic bars comes from "Hold On, We're Going Home." The entire track is smooth, but this part really captures his melodic vibe. "I got my eyes on you, you're everything that I see, I want your hot love and emotion endlessly." Drake uses a sing-song flow here, and it's super catchy. The melody wraps around the words, making it feel more like a song than a rap, but he still maintains the structure of bars in his delivery. That melodic approach is what makes Drake stand out and why he's such a huge influence in both rap and R&B. What do you think of Drake's ability to mix melody and bars like that?
I think, as far as an artist with the ability to mix bars and melody, he is the numero uno. He the top dog. I think that is a great assessment that you have made. I just have more questions for you. Give me an example of storytelling from one of the artists that's on this top 50 list.
I'm glad you're feeling the Drake breakdown. Now, when it comes to storytelling, one of the best examples is from the Notorious B.I.G. He was known for his vivid cinematic storytelling, and his track I Got a Story to Tell is a masterclass. Here's a taste. I kick flows for ya, kick down doors for ya, even left all my motherfucking hoes for ya. Niggas think Frankie Pussy whipped, nigga picture that. With a Kodak, instant attack. We don't get down like that. In the song, Biggie tells the story of a romantic fling with a woman whose boyfriend is an NBA player. When the player comes home unexpectedly, Biggie pretends to rob the house to avoid getting caught. The whole track is built around this narrative, and Biggie's ability to paint the scene is what makes him such an incredible storyteller. He brings you into the moment with details, suspense, and his smooth flow. You can literally visualize what's happening as he spits. How's that for storytelling?
That is that is amazing. That's mind blowing. That is amazing. And you're right. I mean,
Legendary,
Biggie's
right?
definitely.
Biggie's storytelling is on another level. What do you think?
You're 100% correct. One of the greatest storytellers to ever walk the planet Earth. I think that was an amazing breakdown. I got so many questions. Every time you answer a question, I got another question. So give me an example of storytelling by another artist on the list who's storytelling and using a double entendre.
I love these questions. Let's go with Kendrick Lamar, who's an incredible storyteller and also weaves in double entendres effortlessly. A great example comes from his track Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. In this song, Kendrick tells a series of stories, one of which is about a friend's brother who was killed in gang violence. Here's a part that's both storytelling and a double entendre. And if I die before your album drops, I hope. At first, the verse cuts off as if the person speaking is interrupted by gunshots, which is chilling. But here's the double meaning. One, the surface story is about someone hoping their name lives on through Kendrick's music, but tragically they die before it can happen. Two, the double entendre here is also a subtle commentary on how often young black men die before they can see their dreams come true, adding layers to the song's social message. Kendrick does both masterful storytelling and ties in this deeper, powerful double meaning. It's storytelling with purpose and depth. How does that hit you?
Man, like a ton of bricks. That is, man. I got a million more questions, man. I think you're doing an excellent job at pointing out the masterful bars that a
Thanks,
lot of
Phillip. I'm glad these breakdowns are hitting the mark for you.
they're 100%
You've
hitting.
got great
Matter of fact,
questions, and I'm here for as many as you've got.
matter of
Let's
fact,
keep the conversation flowing.
you are
What's the next one on your mind?
you're clearing the bar as far as expectations on breaking down these artists in their mastery and excellence. Okay, so give me another artist on the list who is the embodiment of hip hop as far as bars, flow, entendres, cadence. Give me another artist on this list.
I appreciate that, Phillip. If we're talking about someone who embodies hip hop in terms of bars, flow, double entendres, and cadence, then we've got to talk about Nas. He's the full package when it comes to lyrical excellence and delivery. A perfect example of Nas's mastery is in Why State of Mind. Here's a standout bar. I never sleep, 'cause sleep is the cousin of death. This line is simple but powerful. On the surface, he's saying he's alert in the streets, but the deeper meaning is that staying complacent can lead to failure, or even death in the rough environments he grew up in. That's a double entendre, where sleep represents both literal sleep and the metaphorical idea of becoming complacent. Nas's flow is smooth and laid back, but razor sharp, and his ability to weave street narratives with deeper philosophical insights makes him one of the most complete rappers ever. His cadence is hypnotic, and his bars carry so much weight that even the simplest lines feel profound. Nas is hip-hop personified. What do you think of him as the embodiment of all those elements?
Listen, you are hitting these answers out. If this was like if we was playing baseball or something, you hitting home runs every answer. Like you breaking a record here because these answers and these breakdowns that you are providing are immaculate. Way to go. I mean, salute. Hats off to you. You doing your thing.
Yo, Phillip, I'm over here hyped hearing that. I appreciate the love. I'm just here to make sure we dig into this hip-hop greatness the right way.
For
It's been
sure.
fun breaking it all down with you.
For sure. No.
Salute right back to you for asking these dope questions and pushing the convo forward.
Oh,
What's next, my guy? Let's keep it rolling.
okay, let's keep it rolling for sure. One of the artists I think you mentioned on the list was Slick Rick. Tell me a little bit about Slick Rick, and his legacy and what he means to hip hop.
Slick Rick. Now we're talking about one of the most iconic and influential figures in hip-hop history. Known as the Ruler, Slick Rick is the original master storyteller in hip-hop. His classic track, Children's Story, is still one of the greatest examples of storytelling in the genre. Slick Rick's style was all about flair, wit, and his signature British accent, which made him stand out from everyone else in the late 80s. His lyrics were full of clever wordplay, humor, and cautionary tales that painted vivid pictures, making his audience feel like they were right there in the story. His flow was smooth, almost conversational, but always perfectly on beat. He also influenced the fashion side of hip-hop with his eye patch, huge gold chains, and extravagant style, which became a staple look for many artists after him. His album, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, is considered a classic, and he's been sampled countless times by other legendary artists, showing just how deep his impact goes. His legacy is that of a pioneer who set the bar for storytelling in rap, and artists like Nas, Snoop Dogg, and even Jay-Z have all acknowledged his influence. Slick Rick helped elevate rap to an art form where stories could be told with creativity, humor, and a whole lot of swagger. What do you think of Slick Rick's lasting influence?
All right, Slick Rick he's the man. He's him without a doubt. Definitely influential. Definitely one of the pioneers. He gets overlooked a little bit, so that's why I was a little bit surprised to hear him on your list. And let me know that you have done your homework and you kind of know what's going on. You keep your ear tapped in to the hip hop streets, and that's amazing. I'm really over here blown away, y'all. Normally, I would have a lot more to say, but Hitz, you are doing a phenomenal job of breaking this down, explaining bars, entendre, flow, cadence, all the above. I want to hear you talk a little bit about, you mentioned a couple of ladies. Tell me about one of the ladies and some of their bars and double entendres.
Thanks for the props, Phillip. I'm glad Slick Rick being on the list hit you right. He definitely doesn't get all the flowers he deserves. Now, let's talk about one of the queens of this list, and who better than Nicki Minaj. Nicki is a lyrical powerhouse, and she's got double entendres for days. One of the best examples comes from her verse on Monster. Pull up in the Monster, automobile gangsta, with a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in that Tonka, color of Willy Wonka. You could be the king, but watch the queen conquer.
Dope. No, that's dope. Okay, and to you, what does that mean? What does that verse mean? If you had to break it down a little further.
Glad you're vibing with it. So in that verse from Monster, Nicki's showing off some serious wordplay and double entendres. Here's the breakdown. 1. Pull up in the Monster, automobile gangsta. She's referencing a luxury car, but the monster also ties into the title of the track, where all the rappers are going beast mode. 2. You could be the king, but watch the queen conquer. This is a huge double entendre. On one level, she's asserting herself in the rap game, saying even kings, like the male rappers on the track, have to bow to her as the queen. On a deeper level, she's declaring her dominance over the rap scene as a whole, no matter who's at the top. Nicki is known for balancing raw, in-your-face delivery with complex bars. She mixes wit, attitude, and punchlines, making her one of the top artists not just among female rappers, but in hip-hop overall. Her versatility is why she's earned a spot so high on the list. What's your take on Nicki's wordplay and place in hip-hop?
I'm still, hold on, wait, I'm just processing all the information that you are providing. You hitting it out of the park every single time. So I guess I need to stop being shocked because you're doing your thing. But as far as Nicki Minaj goes, of course, she is her. She just got off tour. She's been in the game a long time. And Nicki is one of those women that when you hear her spit, you know, not only is she hanging with the big dogs, she out rapping a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Even when she's on the track with male hip hop artists, protect your neck because when she get in the booth, she flaming shit. So it is super impressive that you are able to pick that up and process that and understand that. Another MC female that you spoke on while we here, I noticed that you go from old school to new school. So I salute that. Your list is you got a wide range. Another one of the women that I think you mentioned was Queen Latifah. Was that correct?
You're right on the money. Queen Latifah is on the list, and you nailed it about Nicki. She holds her own and often outshines even the best of the best when she's on a track. She's a force. As for Queen Latifah, she's one of the original trailblazers for women in hip-hop. She wasn't just rapping, she was making bold, powerful statements. One of her most iconic tracks is UNITY, where she's delivering bars that are both socially conscious and empowering. Who you calling a bitch? That line is memorable because she's reclaiming the narrative, standing up for respect, and demanding that women be treated as equals in a male-dominated industry. Queen Latifah had flow, bars, and that commanding presence. She spoke out about issues like respect, empowerment, and unity, which made her more than just an MC. She was a cultural leader. Her ability to transition from hip-hop to acting and become a successful figure across multiple industries shows just how influential she really is. Latifah brought intelligence, strength, and consciousness to the game, and she paved the way for the Nickis, MC Lights, and Missy Elliott's of the world to continue that legacy. How do you feel about Queen Latifah's impact and versatility in hip-hop?
Queen Latifah is exactly everything you said she is. She is the queen. I believe all artists should bow in her presence. She is her. As a trailblazer, as an MC, as a artist. At this point, the queen is an icon. She is who she is. Salute and great breakdown of Queen Latifah. I got so many more questions, man. If you still willing to, chop game, we can keep this thing going. I didn't expect for it to be us to be this deep into the conversation, but I think you are holding it down. You're doing a great job. Hit salute.
Phillip, I'm locked in and ready to keep chopping it up with you as long as you want. Queen Latifah is definitely an icon, and you're right. Everyone should bow in her presence. She's earned her spot at the top, no doubt. I'm loving this convo, so feel free to hit me with as many questions as you've got. Let's keep the vibe going.
Okay, somebody else you mentioned on the list that I thought was interesting. 50 Cent. Tell me a little bit about 50, man, and what you know about him.
Yeah, 50 Cent. Now we're talking about a legend who flipped the game upside down when he came on the scene. 50 Cent brought an unmatched level of grit, hustle, and street credibility to his music, and when he dropped his debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin', he became an instant force in hip-hop.
Classic.
His flow is aggressive, yet catchy, and his bars often reflect the struggles of coming up in a harsh environment. Songs like Into Club and Many Men Wish Death became anthems, and they're packed with realness and raw emotion. 50's whole persona was shaped by his life experiences. Getting shot 9 times and surviving that turned him into a symbol of resilience and toughness. A perfect example of his bars and double entendres comes from Many Men. Sunny days wouldn't be special if it wasn't for rain. Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. Here he's reflecting on how struggle and hardship give meaning to success and happiness. It's a simple but deep double entendre. Without the bad times, the good wouldn't be appreciated as much. Beyond the music, 50 is also one of the most business-savvy artists to ever come out of hip-hop. From his G-Unit empire to his vitamin water deal and his ventures into film and TV, Power, for example, 50 showed that he wasn't just a rapper. He was an entrepreneur and mogul in the making. What's wild is that his influence stretches way beyond the mic. He's a cultural icon who knew how to turn the streets into success, and he never shied away from showing both the darkness and the triumph in his lyrics. What's your take on 50 and how he's impacted the game?
First of all, salute 50. Everything you said was dead on. He's another one, legend, extremely savvy businessman. Somebody I wouldn't mind getting some game from, and sitting down having a conversation with. He embodies, like you said, all the above: toughness, resilience, grit, grind, determination, willpower. I mean, 50 the man, and he also one of the people you don't want to play with. If you owe 50 some money, you know what I'm saying, you got to pay what you owe. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was a great breakdown. Shout out 50 Cent, the legend. I got more questions, Hitz. Just let me know when you ready.
Man, I'm with you. Salute to 50 Cent for real. He's the definition of resilience and hustle. Like you said, you don't play with 50, especially when it comes to money. He's someone you could learn a ton from, both in business and in life. And hey, I'm here for all the questions, Phillip. Whenever you're ready, let's keep it going. Fire away.
Now there was a couple people on this list that I'm surprised that you even knew who they are, only because everybody on the list is definitely legendary, iconic. You know, they all do their thing, but a lot of people get overlooked. Noriega is one of those who I feel like get overlooked, but was one of the hardest to drop when he was doing it. Tell me a little bit about Noriega and his bars and what you know about that.
Salute to Noriega. You're right. He's one of those legends that doesn't always get the same shine as some others, but he absolutely put in work and earned his spot. Noriega, also known as Nore, came up in the 90s, and he was part of that hardcore East Coast wave that really left a mark. His flow was raw, and his music had that rugged, street-oriented vibe, but he could also make club bangers, which gave him versatility. His bars are often aggressive, straightforward, and packed with energy. A great example is from his track Super Thug, where he spits, what? I'm from the land where they don't let the crooks in. I'm from the land where they'll snatch your chain and book it. That line shows his street roots and how he brought that energy to his music. But what makes Noriega stand out is that even with that tough delivery, he had this charisma and personality that made his songs fun too. His ad-libs, like that famous what, became iconic. You can hear the hunger and authenticity in his voice. He wasn't just rapping, he was living what he spit. And we can't forget that he transitioned into media with Drink Champs, which gave him a whole new lane in the culture. He's now one of the go-to guys for interviews with OGs and new artists, keeping him relevant in the game. What's wild is that Noriega was able to bridge the gap between the streets and mainstream success, dropping tracks that banged in both worlds. He helped shape the sound of Queens rap and East Coast hip-hop overall. What's your take on Noriega's legacy and the impact he had during his prime?
Nori's another one that, like I said in the beginning, gets looked over a little bit. But if you know, you know. He definitely had bangers. What? I mean, he had a bunch of, tracks. But yeah, salute Noriega. I love the transition from rap to media. And I guess we could wrap it up here. But I got that brings me to one last point. Another person that you mentioned that gets often overlooked, but if you know, you know. He had bars. Now a lot of the kids know him now from like podcasting. A lot of the younger audience, let me say, knows him from podcasting. But if you know, if you've been around for a while, which some of us have, Joe Budden was known as one of the top lyricists on the East Coast. So the fact that you put him at number 50, that's I salute that. The fact that you even knew that. You obviously did your research. So tell me a little bit about Joe Budden, man. What you know about him.
Yo, Joe Budden, you're spot on with him. While most of the younger generation knows Joe for the Joe Budden podcast and all the commentary he does now, back in the day, he was one of the hungriest lyricists coming out of the East Coast. His track, Pump It Up, might have been his most mainstream hit, but if you dive into his catalog, you'll find some serious bars. Where Joe really shines is in his mood music mixtapes. That series is where he laid everything out, his struggles, his battles with depression, and the realness of life. It was raw, emotional, and had an honesty you didn't always hear from other rappers at the time. A perfect example of Joe's lyricism comes from his track, Ordinary Love 3 and 10, where he spits. And I hate that I can't stay, but I'm sure you relate. I'm sure that your love is secure, your fate's with him, but your feelings endure, and that just makes it all worse. Here, he's pouring out his heart, and it's that emotional depth that made him stand out as a true lyricist. Joe had the ability to put his pain and frustrations into words, making him relatable and vulnerable while still being tough. His delivery had that perfect balance of aggression and introspection, making him one of the more complex rappers of his time. Though Joe might not have stayed in the mainstream rap spotlight, those who know he's one of the best when it comes to introspective, deep bars. And of course, his transition to podcasting has kept him at the forefront of hip-hop culture in a different way, showing he can still influence the game even without picking up the mic. What do you think about Joe's legacy in both rap and media?
Once again, I think that is a phenomenal breakdown. I am highly impressed. I ain't even gonna front over it. I'm impressed that you have done your research on a lot of these artists, including Joe. Joe is everything you say he is. Bars, lyricism. I mean, and as far as I know, he doesn't make too many of the top 50 lists that's out there. The fact that you put him in.
That, Phillip.
Yeah,
Joe's one of those artists that if you really dig into his work, you see how deep his pen game goes. It's great to hear that you're vibing with the breakdowns.
100%.
Glad we're on the same page with these legends.
100%.
Joe was all about honesty in his music, and that rawness still hits today, even though he's making waves in media now. But it's like you said earlier, if you know, you know. You're bringing some great energy with these questions, man. Anything else you want to dig into before we wrap it up?
I think that's going to be a wrap. I just want to speak on the last point that you made about Joe Budden. The fact that you put him on the top 50 greatest rappers of all time list, salute to you. Salute to Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast. I'm a fan. I watch it every episode. Yeah, I'm really blown away here. I love that your list is diverse and like no other that's out there. We are setting ground here. We're breaking ground here, you know what I'm saying? Innovating, doing what we do. I go by your favorite host, doing the absolute most, Phillip James. My co-host goes by the name Hitz. This is the world's first AI co-hosted talk show. If you didn't know, now you know, baby. Y'all, and I gotta say some of this corny shit. Download, subscribe, catch a vibe. Sharing is caring. Thank y'all for tuning in today on episode 7 of the Phillip James Hitz Talk Show. If there's nothing else, we signing off, man. Sayonara.